Hi guys, my name is Rayanne. Welcome back to another video. So I've been gone for a little while just to address the elephant in the room real quick. And to be honest, there hasn't been a reason other than I just didn't feel like filming. I didn't want to film, I didn't want to post, I didn't want to upload, so I didn't. I am still uncertain about whether or not I'm going to fall right back into the swing of my normal uploading schedule, which was weekly. But I'm leaning towards probably not right now, so uploading is probably going to be sporadic. And the reason for that is, one, I'm not really feeling YouTube right now. I don't know if it's just me growing out of this channel or anything like that. I'm not making any decisions in that regard, or if it's just because this is my last semester of college, at least on campus, and I want to make the most of it with all of my friends before I have to go back home in December. So that could be it. It could be as innocent as that, and I'll be back in like my regular uploading at the end of the semester, or it could be that I am, seeing the end of my YouTube career. But like I said, I'm not making any decisions or anything like that, but for now I have a huge book haul to show you guys. 24 books I have accumulated since I uploaded last. Alright, before you panic when I tell you the 24 books and you're like, Rayanne, you don't have any money, why are you buying these many books? Well, one, you're right, but two, one of my really good friends, Katie, and I went to Indianapolis over the weekend, and there was a huge half-price books, like, expo sale going on, and every book was $2 or less. So I got 9 books there. And then on the way back from Indy, this is the same day I'm talking, we were given a coupon at the expo for 15% off our next visit to a half-price books. So on our way back from Indianapolis, we stopped in Greenwood, Indiana at that half-price books and I got 2 books there. Whoops. And then there have been other random splurges to Barnes & Noble, a couple books I've had to purchase for some reading that I've had to do for classes and such like that. But like I said, 24 books, so this is probably going to be a bit of a longer video, but nothing says I'm back like a book haul, right? So the first book I got, I had to pick up for one of my classes, and it's Into the Wild by John Krakauer. I think that's how you say his last name. I had to read this for one of my field placements, and so I read it, and I tried to read it when I was in high school or middle school, and I hated it. I liked it a lot more this time around when I read it, but yeah, still like not one of my favorite things I've had to read, but like compared to what I could have had to have read, this is like pretty good, so that happened. I also picked up Dante's The Inferno. This is the first book in the Divine Comedy. I've been meaning to read the Divine Comedy for ages. I'm talking like since I read Paradise Lost back senior year of high school. And so I finally picked up part 1, and then I'm just gonna kind of like go through and read it at my leisure and everything like that, and annotate it because English teacher life. Keeping with the trend, I swear, I promise I got like fun books in here too, but keeping with the trend of more classical things, I picked up a collection of Byron poetry. This is the Everyman Library's Pocket Poets edition. I have a copy of this for William Blake's poetry, but Byron is one of my favorite poets, and I cannot ever get enough of his collections of poetry, and I keep trying to hunt down ones that aren't just massive chunks of his longer poems. I really prefer short poems. And so I found this, and I finally picked it up, and I have been kind of flipping through it and really enjoying it so far. Alright, so the next 3 books, these are books I got at half-price books, and I've been meaning to get these for a while now, but I finally did it just because they were so cheap, and then also in hardcover. And so it's the complete hardcover set of Rick Riordan's The Kane Chronicles, which is, the first book is The Red Pyramid, the second is The Throne of Fire, and the last book is The Serpent's Shadow. Wow, okay. So I do own this complete trilogy in paperback, and I have read it already. But those books are in storage right now, and the reason why I picked these up is half-price books. So I got Red Pyramid and Serpent's Shadow for $2 a piece, and then Throne of Fire I picked up at the second Barnes & Noble, or the second half-price books we went to, so it was a little bit more expensive. But hardcover books will last longer because I've been planning on putting these in my future classroom one day. A lot of the books I bought are specifically designed to go into my future classroom, and so hardcover books will last longer, and they also just look nicer in my opinion. So got that. The next book I also got at Half Price Books for $2, and it is a hardcover version of Grave Mercy by Robin Lefevers. Selfishly, I wanted this in hardcover because I have the complete trilogy, but Grave Mercy is the only one I don't have in hardcover. So when I saw it for $2, I was like, yes, please. Never mind the fact that that trilogy is also in storage right now, so it's fine. It's fine. Going with the trend of paperbacks that I need in hardcover to match the rest of my series, I picked up hardcovers of Twilight and New Moon because these are the only two I also did not have in hardcover. And then also, kind of going back with the theme of Kane Chronicles, I think it would be nice to have like 2 editions of these because, say what you will about Twilight, like, I don't give a shit if you hate it, because I don't, so I'm not going to change your opinion, you're not going to change mine. But high schoolers, I think, will enjoy Twilight. It's something quick and fast that they can pick up. So in case I have a situation where multiple students want to borrow a book from me, I will have 2 copies of these for my classroom, which I think is important, and then also just, it'll match my hardcovers of every other Stephanie Meyer book that I have, so that's a thing. Next up, I picked up books 1 and 2 of the Shadow and Bone trilogy by Leigh Bardugo in their new paperback editions, so it's Shadow and Bone and Siege and Storm. Barnes & Noble, when I went there for this time, did not have Ruin and Rising in the new hardcover, in the new paperback, so I'll pick up that. I have not read the Grisha trilogy. I read Six of Crows and loved it, and haven't read Crooked Kingdom yet because I am an actual human trash can, but I have been meaning to read them for a while, and I'm putting off reading Crooked Kingdom. I've definitely been putting off reading Crooked Kingdom until I read this trilogy, because I've heard that the Six of Crows duology is significantly better than this trilogy, but I still want to read and enjoy this, and plus these new covers are gorgeous, and so I splurged, and I'm excited about that eventually, at some point maybe, to get to them. Next up, Katie actually picked this up for me at Target, because she was there and she knew I would want it, and it's signed. And it is Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo as well, hardcover signed copy, which is really, really dope. So shout out to Katie for being an A+ friend and calling me and asking me if I wanted this. I'm really excited. She, I think, is in the middle of reading it or just finished it and is loving it, so that's pretty satisfying. And then just keeping with the trend of Leigh Bardugo books, I also picked up The Language of Thorns, Midnight Tales, and Dangerous Magic by Leigh Bardugo. This is the collection of stories from the Grishaverse. I'm really excited to read this. I did not open it before, and I was not aware it was illustrated. Oh my god, I'm in love. So that just made me so very, very happy. I think there are 6 stories in this, like little fairy tales. Can you tell I forgot to look at this one naked? God damn, it's beautiful. I love it so much. So I'm hoping to read this one soon because it is shorter, or at least, like, you know, read one story here or there. I really like it. I love the quote on the back where it says, "Love speaks in flowers, truth requires thorns." Like, girl, yes. So I'm really excited to read this at some point in my life, because have I even been reading since I've been gone? The answer is no. Next up, a pretty obvious book that I picked up Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. This is not signed. If you guys are aware, the last, like, I don't even know how many Sarah J. Maas books have been released, I've gotten signed through Good Choice Reading, and in protest of me absolutely hating the fuck out of Gale, I didn't get this one signed. I have not read it, I have not even opened it, I am not interested in reading it, but I know I have to in order to finish the Throne of Glass series, so, like, I'll get to it, but it's not a priority because Gale can just kiss my ass. Sorry, Grandma, I know you watch these. Hi. So this is another book I got from Half Price Books, and it is The Diviners by Libba Bray in hardcover, the old cover that was, like, actually pretty. I wanted this hardcover edition of this book for forever. I have not read The Diviners, I don't own a copy of it besides this one, but I wanted this one. And so when I saw it, I, like, freaked and grabbed it. It's not, like, in the best condition. There's, like, a little tear right here, and, like, the cover is kind of bent and curling, but, like, I don't care because it's pretty and I like it so much better than, like, the other covers that were released. And then, like, underneath it, I don't know if the new covers have this design to them too, but, like, this is just so much prettier than the new one, so I wanted this, and hopefully I'll read it. I think Katie read it and said that it was really good, so I'm excited about this. eventually. Okay, next up I've got some boring books. I don't think they're boring, but you might find them boring. This is the Library of World Poetry, edited by William Cullen Bryant, and it's just a beautiful, fine binding of it. I have no idea what is in this, like, at all. I like poetry, and I like books that are beautifully bound, and it was $2, so that happened. Similar trend, I also picked up The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo, in gorgeous binding as well, because I love it. I also have not read Hunchback, so hopefully I will do that soon. So the next two books are they must be from like the same library collection or whatever, because they're the exact same binding. But the first one is Canterbury Tales by Chaucer. I'm not like the biggest fan of Canterbury Tales, and when I say I'm not the biggest fan, I mean like I hate Canterbury Tales. Like it's boring, okay? It's boring, it's written in Old English, and I'm not here for it. I'm not a fan. Although now that I'm flipping through this one looks like it's a translated version, because this is definitely modern English. And now I'm just confused, because I was unaware this one was gonna be a modern, like an actual translated. Like, I was expecting one, April, you know, pierce through the route, drought of March and shit like that. But no, this is like actual, like, normal English, so that's interesting. Maybe I'll actually read Canterbury Tales now. I won't, that's a lie. And then the other one, I shrieked a little bit when I saw it, because it's a collection of poetry with Byron, Keats, and Shelley. And Byron, as you guys know, is one of my favorite poets. I mentioned that earlier in this video. And I, like, never see collections of poetry that heavily feature Byron that's, like, not, like, 90% of his section being Don Juan. And because I have no interest in reading Don Juan, at least for, like, the time being, I was really excited when this part of the book is just straight Byron, and a lot of it is, like, not actually, like, just John Juan and Childhood's Pilgrimage or whatever. Like, it's got a lot of his shorter poems in it, particularly one that I love a lot called Maid of Athens Ere We Part, which I have seen in only one other collection of poetry, which was, like, a huge textbook of romantic poetry. So this made me very happy, and only $2 again. Like, yes, I love it. Right, we're in the home stretch, down to 4. The next one I picked up is Friedrich Nietzsche's Anaphorisms on Love and Hate. It's just like one of these little tiny penguin little black classic books, which I think are super cute. This is the only one I have. I picked it up on a whim, because I honestly had no idea who this German philosopher is or was or anything like that. Never had heard of this collection of his, like, I'm pretty sure it's like short essays or something like that. But I've been really enjoying just like flipping through and reading them here and there and highlighting passages that I think are important or speak to me. I really, really like it. I think it's pretty profound. But, you know, not something I could read in, like, one sitting. I've been taking it pretty slow. Next up, I picked up Shakespeare's A Midsummer's Night's Dream, because I've never read this one, which, like, actually surprises me, because I think a lot of people read this one in high school, but, like, my high school opted for, like, the Romeo and Juliet, Julius Caesar, Hamlet route, and those were, like, the only plays I read. And so, now that I'm reading Macbeth for one of my classes, where I'm, like, designing a whole giant unit around it, I was looking up different things about Shakespeare, and I was like, you know what, I need to read Midsummer's Night's Dream. So I'm starting it. I'm taking it very, very slow. Like, I finished one scene, that's what I've read so far, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm having a fun time with it. Next book I picked up is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I have to read this for one of my classes. I've read it before. I actually have 2 copies of it. They're just both in storage. So I had to purchase another one, which is fine with me, because The Book Thief is one of the greatest books I've ever read. And it's been a while. Like, it's been a hot minute since I read it. Like, I read it back in 8th grade, which was, oh god, 7 years ago, I think? So it's been a while. So I'm really excited to read it and, like, you know, do a couple lessons on it, but yeah, that happened. So the last book I got, home stretch guys, we made it, we're there, is Hillary Rodham Clinton's What Happened. This is her book detailing what happened during, you know, the absolute shit show known as the 2016 presidential election. I've been really enjoying it. I'm not super far in. I've been reading it for like maybe a month now, like a chapter or so here and there, just because I don't really read biographies, so this is something new for me, but I'm really enjoying this. Like, this book's hilarious. She is throwing shade at so many people, but then also at herself. I'm really enjoying this, and it annoys my older brother that I'm reading it, which is just like another thing, because I like to annoy him. So, hi Rory! I love it. In the interest of not dying, I'm not going to hold up these books, because look at this, fam. I'm not holding those. I can't. It would be impossible. They can't even stay stacked on their own on my bed. It's not happening. Right, so I think that's everything. You know, apologies again for the hiatus. It's probably gonna happen again if I'm just gonna like level with you and be honest. I don't know when my next video will go up or anything like that. I'm playing everything by ear right now, and we're just gonna see. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you're having a great day. I'd really appreciate it if you give it a like. If you did, you know, you can hit the subscribe button down there to keep seeing more of my videos or to go back and see some of my old ones that I've posted. I'd appreciate that as well. Leave me a comment what you've been reading, what you've been up to since I've been gone. I've just been like away from the YouTube scene, so like, you know, give me an update on you. I'd love to hear from you guys. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope to see you again, you know, sooner than 3 weeks this time. That'll be my goal, but no promises because I'm only human. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.